So you just got a new e-kit. Awesome, but it sounds like this. You're probably gonna want some better sounds. Hey guys, Joey here, and in today's video, I'm gonna show you how to get the most out of your e-kit using Drumforge greiner. We spend a lot of time tuning this software to make it work seamlessly with your e-kit. This makes it a really inspiring library to use. Electronic drum kits are pretty awesome. It's a great way to turn your drum playing into MIDI. It's also super useful for practicing without making a lot of noise. So what's the problem? Well, for a lot of e-kits, the sounds they come with just aren't very usable for metal. These products are designed for consumers in every genre, and that's where drum libraries come in. Since the Drumforge sampler lets you control every drum, mic, and mix move, you can design your drums to be as natural or as processed as you want. Great performances are inspired ones, and that all starts with the source. So how do you set it up? Well, it's pretty simple. Start by connecting your e-kit to a computer with Drumforge greiner installed. The easiest way to connect it is with an interface cable, like this. If you have an older electronic drum kit, you'll have to use a MIDI to USB interface. You can also use a MIDI cable with your audio interface if it's got the connections. Make sure the DAW recognizes your e-kit and is accepting MIDI signals from the e-kit. Awesome. Now load Drumforge greiner on an instrument track and arm it. Now that the kit is connected and the track is armed, we need to map the drums. This plugin actually has some of the most common maps like Guitar Pro, Addictive Drums, and several e-kits included as a preset. If you're using compatible hardware, just load the preset and go. If you're using a different electronic kit, you'll have to assign the hits manually. Select the drum trigger that you want. Click the MIDI button next to the drum name, it's the one right here. When it turns red, it'll automatically assign that drum hit to the next MIDI note that it receives. So, for example, press the MIDI on the snare hit. Once it turns red, hit the snare drum on your e-kit. Now they're linked. Do this for the entire kit and save it as a preset so that you can load this routing every time you play. This is a good time to mention buffer size. If you're monitoring through the DAW, it'll need to be pretty low. The value you end up with will be determined by your computer's specs and which interface you use. Anything under 100 is a pretty good start. The goal is to get this as low as possible before it starts crackling like this. Okay, so now we have the e-kit connected and assigned. Now let's just adjust the dynamics. Let's go over to the drum editor window and click on velocity. These settings adjust how hard you have to hit the pad to trigger the samples. It's important to pay attention to the velocity response since every drum pad reacts a little differently. If you're playing aggressive drums without a ton of ghost notes, you can raise the velocity floor. This makes the softest hits louder. Adjust the curve to get a more desirable response from your playing. Turning this to the right will make a wider range of velocities trigger harder samples. Check it out. If you're playing in the genre where the hardest rim shots aren't appropriate, then turn down the ceiling with the max knob. No matter how hard you play, the results will be limited by this knob. It's time to start actually working with the sounds. These samples were recorded at various tunings, so dial the tuning to fit your playing style and the song that you're recording. This opens up a ton of sonic options. Get a great balance and apply some processing before you start actually recording. Make sure everything's audible and sounds great. This makes recording more fun and inspiring. If you don't want to focus on mixing, load one of the already mixed presets. These are all album ready and mixed by Atrium Audio, so they sound amazing. Awesome, now let's record. Okay, the performance is recorded and the MIDI is on a track. Editing the timing is super easy, just use the quantize MIDI function in your DAW. Go back over the performance and adjust the velocities. Make sure everything is hitting as hard as you want it to. One thing to watch out for is stuff like this. These notes are often unintentional. Low velocity like this can be caused by a malfunctioning sensor on the pad. Bring the velocity up a bit and listen in context. Take your time with this part, it's really easy to gloss over the details. And that's it, we connected an E-kit, created a drum map, adjusted the velocity, tuned the kit, and got a decent mix going. This sounds way better than the default samples included with the basic E-kit. What comes next is up to you. Want to unlock the potential of your electronic drum kit? Download your copy of Drumforge Mac Greiner from the best online source for professional drum sounds and software, drumforge.com.